Alrighty, hey there guys, Adrian here, KJ185 coming at you guys with another video. So, in this video guys, I'm going to be talking about a conversation that a lot of people seem to have year in and year out about Madden overall. And more specifically, it's not just a Madden thing I've noticed. It goes for like a bunch of other games. And people will argue, people will raise the conversation and argue that Madden or blank game is the same game every single year. And I'm just gonna come right out and say it. Are you dumb? Like, do people actually latch onto this conversational piece and actually try to make it seem like a valid argument? Like, that to me is a thing that I just quite frankly don't understand how people could legitimately sit there straight face and all and argue to us that the game is the same every single year. Like, I don't get it. I don't get how people can argue that Madden 20, again, a game that is notoriously famous for being a run-heavy meta with stretch and outside zone runs. I don't know how people can look at that game and then look at this game, completely different with newer gen movement, different not even going to focus on graphics, newer gen movement. Also, you have, different like playbooks and, how the players, and you get what I'm trying to say with stuff like that. Look like the new gen movement and all that shit. I don't know how you can look at that and be like, yeah, it's the same game. Fam, how how stupid of a human being are you? And I feel like there's a bunch of reasons as to why people go about it in this like fashion, and I'll try to tackle that conversation in this video as best as I can. So I think one of the reasons why people both believe that Madden is the same game, or again, just any game that has a repeating franchise like Call of Duty, Madden, 2K, FIFA, even MLB, they say it's the same game every single year. I think part of it is just fatigue. They're tired of this, the same core controls and the same core mechanics in the game over and over and over again. They're tired of that and they want something different. And I can understand that a little bit. So there is that. The second thing is the fact that people are casuals. They just don't play the game in detail, and they go and they look at the game like that we've been playing, right? They look at that game and they just like, yeah, it's the same game, despite the fact that they may have played it for like 3-4 hours, and yet we as the community, like the guys that like myself who make content on it, play the game like basically every single day. Like, I still am playing this game on Madden 24, trying to finish up the rookie premiere stuff. Sorry, I had to adjust my camera a little bit. I've been still playing this game, trying to get prepared for Madden 24 coming out here in a couple of weeks. And I still don't understand why people will argue to their dying breath that I just don't get it. How people who don't play the game that much will argue to us who do play it like every day that it's the same fucking game. Like, it just doesn't make sense to me. So I think that is the number two thing. It's just people are casuals and they just don't play the game like that. I think the third thing as well is just the fact that they're dumb. They're just stupid. They're just talking to talk specifically. Now, I know a lot of creators don't want, a lot of other people will probably not sit there and say stuff like, they're just fucking dumb or stupid and whatnot. Luckily, I'm not one of those creators. I will gladly say what's on my damn mind, and I don't give a rat's ass if you would disagree or not with me. But I think the people who argue that are just stupid. They just do not fucking care and are just willing to just argue or talk just to fucking talk because that's all they're good for. That's all they do. And it annoys the fuck out of me to hear people consistently every now and then consistently argue it's the same game. I don't know why people get so hyped about the new game when it's going to be the exact same game and with the exact same stuff in it. My question I ask, okay, y'all be complaining about the game being the same every single year. My question to you, the viewer watching this, how much do you want this game to change before it is no longer the game that we are playing? Especially a game based on a real life sport. Like, how much are you expecting this to change? With games like Call of Duty, it's a little bit different because it's a fantasy game where, it's a fantasy like first person shooter type of thing where they could take different calculated risks like they did with the jetpacks or the boost jumping after like into advanced war from advanced warfare till infinite warfare, I believe is what it was. So like a 3-4 year stretch. Um, so yeah, like they could take those type of risks. They can try those different things because ultimately, while yes, it may be the same game and its core gameplay, they can experiment with different things and try out different mechanics and whatnot in order for the game to be vastly different. Now they can do that with Madden as well as any other sport, but how much needs to be different before you can actually like legitimately sit there and say, yeah, this is a completely different game? Like, how much different do you want like this game? Like, do you want people to start wearing jetpacks on the field and flying in the air and doing a 360 helicopter spin? Like, is that what you want? I'm asking you. Leave a comment below. Like, like, do you want like linemen to be like 2 feet tall and like this big before you say it's the different game? Like, I fundamentally don't understand it. Now, yes, maybe there may be a same meta over and over and over again, potentially, and that could be a problem. I will agree with that. However, just because a meta is the same doesn't mean the game overall is the same. Because the game, even though the meta is the same, it can be a similar thing. The gameplay overall is vastly different. All right, great example for me, I find, is Modern Warfare 2 and Modern Warfare 3, okay? If you guys were around back in those days, you guys knew that the ACR, which is a gun I'll put on the screen right now, or I don't actually think I can do that, so I'm not even gonna try. But it was a weapon in Call of Duty that was severely overpowered. It was really, really good. One of the best weapons in Modern Warfare 2, right? So, going into Modern Warfare 3, that gun was still the meta gun for like 8-9 months, I believe, maybe even the whole year. I don't remember that much because I didn't play that whole lot of Modern Warfare 3. But but the gameplay overall was completely different. And I remember in Modern Warfare 3, they tried new innovations called point streaks. Like they tried that and it worked. It wasn't really the best at launch, at the beginning, but it worked. They stuck around with it, and point streaks are still a thing. Even I believe they're still a thing even to this day. I could be completely wrong about that. So, like, you get what I'm trying to say. Like, the meta may be the same, but the gameplay overall can become vastly different. And it just, for me, I think it just boils down to boredom and people just being stupid and just not knowing them playing this game year after year. Because, like, if I were to sit here and argue to you, especially as a longtime 2K player, if I were to sit here and argue to you that 2K16 played anything like 2K19, you would look at me like I'm fucking stupid, and rightfully so, because it's not the same game. It does not play the same. It plays completely differently. Outside of the features and everything, it plays completely differently. There's nothing about that game that is very, very remotely totally similar, other than the core mechanics, like how to shoot, how to dribble, how to move, how to do all of that extra stuff. Which I think, if that's what people's argument is, then that logic is so stupid to me. Because, like, what do you want them to change, like how to snap the ball to like the right thumbstick? Like, seriously, like, do you want them to change the controls to where, like, in order to do an aggressive catch, with the user aggressive catch, you have to press, like, LB and, like, triangle? Or, like, LB and A at the same time? Like, is that what you're looking for? For, like, controller changes? Like, I know there's glitches that pop up, like that one right there. I don't know if that was a glitch. I think that's just bad camera view. Probably was, though. But I don't know. I don't know. I don't understand why people argue this. To me, it's one of those copy pastas that just float around, that dumbasses people. Like, these are the same people that will argue that linebackers are still overpowered. Despite the fact that the last 3 years, linebackers have been completely dirt shit. And it seems like in Madden 24, they're going to be dirt shit again. So, I don't know. And again, it goes back to the whole people just don't play this game regularly. But let me know in the comments, guys. What do you guys think? Do you guys agree with are you guys a part of the dumbass, this is the same game, it's the same game every single year crowd? Are you actually a smart human being and will say that the game is not the same and y'all are just dumb for arguing that? Let me know, guys. But until then, I'll see you guys next time. I'm out. Peace.